Hey guys, Andrew here, and welcome back to the next episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. We're going to be picking up where we left off with Chapter 7 for Rumpel. Here we go. Log, because I don't quite remember. Good night, Rumpel. I turn and walk away. Good night, my sweet prince. Oh, okay, so we're literally just waking up. Alright. Rumpel. And you, my little sunflower, are just as radiant as always. Oh my, Rumpel. Oh boy, at it again. It's like that whole thing with Bria never happened. He's back to flattering every woman he meets. Overthinking again, princess? I turn to see Karma grinning at me from where he sits at a table. Surprisingly, he's sitting with Jurian and Garland today, who are arguing about some kind of knight's dance. Okay. It's none of your business. No, it's not, but you have such a sad look on your face, I had to ask. I'd appreciate you not staring at my face. I don't need to stare to see that you're in distress. I turn on my heels and begin to walk away, irritated. Karma was just asking and trying to be nice, I think. Even when I'm among other people, it is impossible to forget the conversation I had with Parfait and Delora. It hovers at the back of my mind constantly. We have not spoken again since then, yet even now, I am still taking in what they told me before. My mother, the tenebrarum bearer, and me, a witch. The reason others have always feared me is because of my blood. I suppress a sigh as I attempt to return to my work. As the day goes by, I notice myself becoming more and more agitated. Half of it is the recent history lesson, and the other half is Rumpel's flirting with other women. Jealous! How can he just snap his fingers and get over Bria so quickly? If he flatters every woman, does that mean he doesn't really mean the things he says to me? I gather the plates off the counter, put them on a tray, and take them to the customers. Today, everything feels mechanical. For the last few days, I've been noticing that I walk more stiffly, and that if I walk too quickly, my vision blurs. Probably because of my overthinking. I stumble as I bring a tray to a familiar customer. The man looks up at me and asks if I'm okay, and I murmur that I am before walking off. The blurriness comes back. What's wrong with me? I look over at Rumpel, who's at a table with two girls because his shift is over. Rather than boil over on the inside, I feel myself getting warmer on the outside. My skin feels clammy. I have to force myself to take a breath as I get the next round of orders. My last order for the day is for one of the girls at Rumpel's table. I don't want to go over there. I start carrying the tray towards the table, biting down on my lip as the sway comes back into my step. As I draw closer, I notice Rumpel and the girls laughing about something. I grit my teeth and pause in front of them to lay down the tray. This isn't mine, it's my friend's. Yes, I was the one who ordered the soup. The two stare at me instead of handing the soup off. They wait for me to move the bowl. But before I can reach over and move it, Rumpel slides it over to the other girl himself. For a few moments, there is a fragment of a scowl on his face. How are you doing today, my sweet princess? When I think about speaking, the words catch feebly in my throat. I turn to walk off. Princess? Still as cold as ice. The title Ice Princess definitely suits her. How can you dote on her, Rumpel? Despite the numbness of my mind, I still feel angry. I turn around so quickly that I make myself stumble. I feel myself teetering on the edge of falling, but something stops me. Warm hands reach out to grab mine before I can fall. Through my dizziness, I can see Rumpel standing in front of me. Princess, look at me. He puts a hand under my chin and angles my head so I can see him better. The expression on his face is suddenly serious. He looks at me for a few moments before he places a hand on my forehead. Princess, you have a fever. A really high fever, actually. You should go back to your room and rest. I'll drop by with some medication in a few minutes after I say goodbye to these ladies. I'm fine. My voice comes out hoarse. Trying to clear my throat only makes me feel more miserable. Princess, you are not fine. You look like you're about to collapse. I will not collapse. I'm stronger than that. Mother taught me how to be strong. Mother. My thoughts become scrambled. Once again my mind wanders, but this time I can't keep myself steady as I try to walk away. Putting one foot in front of the other proves to be too difficult, and I once again feel myself start to stumble. Then I feel warmth, this time arms instead of hands. Sweet little princess, what am I going to do with you? Aww, that's so cute! Before I can understand what's happening, I'm lifted off my feet. I feel an arm supporting my back and another supporting me beneath the crook of my knees. Warmth. Such nice warmth. You really are stubborn, aren't you, Princess Rhea? I guess I'll just have to carry you up myself. I don't know. I'm trying so hard to pick the right choices. I mean, you're sick. You're not doing good. Just I don't know. I guess that my body's so weak anyway. Even if I wanted to struggle, I wouldn't be able to. I slowly lean my head against his chest. That got him off guard. Princess? You concede that you need help? No. Still so stubborn. There's indistinctive murmuring behind him that probably belongs to the girls. Rumpel responds to them in a low voice. Stubborn she may be, but my sweet princess is stronger than any other woman I've ever known. So warm. But not as warm as you are right now, princess. So I'm guessing that was the wrong choice. His voice slowly begins to fade out as I close my eyes. For the time being, I stop caring about everything else around me. I forget about Mother, about my talk with Delora and Parfait, about the crystal, the marching, and I focus on Rumpel. Is it so selfish to want to be the only person held like this by him, even when he was engaged to someone before? Slumber slowly reaches up to claim me, darkness intermingling with warmth. In that last moment I think I see Rumpel smile at me. Oh, it's a dream. Mother! Mother! I have to tell you about the fairy tale that the children read to me today. Rhea, what did I tell you about the fairy tales? But there was a princess, just like me. She found her prince charming and... Fairy tales are not real. But they make really good stories, Mother. They are false stories. Do you really think it would be so easy to live happily ever after? No, but... Fairy tales make things black and white. Real life is full of grays. Black and white? Good and evil. No one is totally evil, and no one is totally good. Even princes are not completely just. So princess and princesses can be bad? Rhea, everyone has darkness to them. The princes that threw themselves into danger are not selfless. They seek wealth, fame, or power. You see, fairy tales are lies because no one is so selfless and so full of love. People are two-faced. Trust no one. Yes, Mother. No one will love you like I do. To find pure love like that is impossible. No, it's not. I slowly blink my eyes open. For a few moments, the room is blurry and there is nothing but vivid colors before my eyes. My eyes feel heavy, my throat scratchy. I stifle a cough as I blink back tears, and then, through my tears, I notice a slight motion. Rumpel? Rumpel is slumped in a chair in front of my bed, his head lolled to the side, his eyes closed. He murmurs something in his sleep and then shifts. What's he doing here? I notice a notebook on his lap. And what is that journal? I slowly slide my hand out from underneath the covers and reach across the bed. Right as my fingers are about to brush the cover, Rumpel's hand suddenly falls on mine. Well then. Looks like you're feeling better. He pulls his hand away along with the book before carefully setting my hand back down on the covers. At least you look better, but how do you feel? Better. Rumpel looks tired, but his smile is still there. Oh? I won't believe it until I see it. You just said I looked better. That's my own analysis, but you, my sweet princess, don't sound very convinced. My throat is a little sore, and I think if I stood up I'd fall over. Well, that's no good. Why do you look so surprised? You would usually never admit to such a thing, would you? You're still most definitely sick. Rumpel leans forward to put a hand on my forehead. His hand is cool on my hot skin. Our eyes lock as he tests my temperature. After a few moments, he finally peels his hand away from me and sits back in his chair. Your temperature is down, but you definitely need the rest, princess. You should go back to sleep. And what? Will you just sit there and watch me? The words come out curter than I mean them to, and for a few moments Rumpel looks surprised. Then he laughs. Princess, I haven't just been staring at you. I've been writing in my journal, too. You have such a scary look on your face. Not that it isn't enticing, but I think your smiles are much better. I sigh as I close my eyes for a few moments. I fight to put my scrambled thoughts together, but one thought in particular keeps resurfacing. For some reason, I cannot help but remember the snide woman standing by Rumpel's side, jeering at me earlier. I open my eyes and look at Rumpel. Those women from earlier. Oh, right. I apologize for their impoliteness. The things I said to you were uncalled for, and I told them that. You flirt with women like that all the time. But why? They're not even good people. Not good people? But, oh well, I suppose they act differently when you're there. Princess Rhea, you're blind to their jealousy, aren't you? They're jealous of me? Why? My mind turns over what they could possibly be jealous about as my eyes fall on Rumpel. I remember the way he defended me to the women. Is it because you're my partner? It's a lot more than that. It's your grace, the noble way you carry yourself. They would never think I have those qualities. But where else would their jealousy stem from? They're just jealous that I take your attention away from them. Princess, I think even if they were nice people, I don't see how you can flirt with them when you were just recently in love with someone else. Normally I would stop talking, but the words continue tumbling out of me. I don't understand how someone like you who had a fiance could still be flirting with girls. How can you love someone if all you do is flirt with other girls? Flattery is one thing, but you can't just flatter every girl. Why are you still smiling at me? I may not remember a lot of things, Princess, but I know for certain that whatever feelings I had for Bria vanished a long time ago. The good ones, at least. Rumpel. The words break apart as I start coughing. Don't rile yourself up over this. Please, rest. I slowly lean back into my pillows with my eyes half closed. Why do I even care about what Rumpel does? Why does it bother me that he flirts with other girls? That's his business. Rumpel pulls the covers closer to my chin and smiles. Just because I flatter other women, that doesn't mean that I can't love someone. You always say some woman has stolen your heart, but your heart can't belong to everyone. Yet you told me you always speak the truth. Maybe that in itself is a little white lie, just some harmless dramatics. But most girls know that I am being dramatic, Princess. They don't take my words so seriously, even if I do mean my compliments. He stares at me for a few moments, thoughtful. Does it bother you so much that I compliment other girls? Of course not. Though it will be difficult to hold my tongue. I will do it for you, Princess, so don't worry. Why would he do something like that for me? My eyes are suddenly so heavy, I have no choice but to close them as I let out a deep sigh. My head's beginning to hurt again. Behind my closed eyelids, I can hear a soft shuffle as Rumpel moves in his chair. Right before I fall back into the darkness of sleep, I feel something warm and soft on my forehead. Rumpel? A goodnight kiss. His words are quiet, and I can only just barely make them out. I can't think on them because the pool of sleep is much too tempting. Aww! Rumpel's so sweet! It takes a while, but after several days, Rumpel finally allows me to go back to work. I can't remember much of what happened when he was watching over me, especially that first day. It's all a little bit of a blur now, like it was all just a dream. Ah, Princess! Back up on your feet! Yes, I'm fine now. Oh, what a relief! Last I saw you, you looked quite pale. When? I dropped in to check on you in your room, but Rumpel was there. He told me that he had everything under control. Why'd you need to check on me? Because I was worried, of course. Maybe you've been working too hard. No, I'm fine. Just tell me what things need to be done. Are you sure you're okay? She's fine and nice. Dolores suddenly appears before me, smirking. The princess is sturdy, and a little too stubborn to let a little sickness get her down. I've not spoken with Delora or Parfait since that night when they decided to tell me about Mother. Just thinking about what they told me, it puts me on edge. Aw, Princess, why the sour expression? Allow me to calm you down with a little lullaby. Excuse me? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Give me those work orders now. Up above the world so high. And ice! Oh, the tables on the west are yours, Princess Rhea. I quickly walk away from the bar and catch only the last little bit of Dolores singing. Like a diamond in the sky. She sang that the night I was cursed. Hearing her sing it again is infuriating. The song slowly fades from my mind as I go about my work for the day. I'm still a little shaky on my feet, but not so much that I need to go back to bed. As I'm walking around the bar, I catch snatches of conversation as I serve food. I hear the king's been mediating arguments between his two advisors. That Mithros man? He reminds me of a snake, always smiling that slithery smile of his. That one and Alcester. Apparently there has been no end to their squabbles. The king missed his monthly visit to the town yesterday, didn't he? I wonder if he's sick. There's been no word from the palace, but I suppose he must have come down with something. Nothing would keep the king from visiting otherwise. What's going on at the palace? You heard about the incident with the royal guard? Apparently lots of them have been getting dishonorably discharged. Found doing something to dishonor the king's name. Huh? Like what exactly? Not sure. That information's still under wraps. Well then. I'm walking forward, not watching where I'm going when I collide with someone in my path. I feel a hand on my shoulder, and then another lifts my chin. If it isn't the lovely princess, you're looking a lot peachier today. Because you're not as pale? Because the color's coming back into your skin? I'm still thinking of the king and the situations in the palace, and barely hear Rumpel's words. It isn't until he leans closer to me and narrows his eyes that I realize he is so close. Oh, hi there. Now Sleeping Beauty's truly awake, and here I was hoping I would have an excuse to plant a kiss on your lips, my sweet princess. Well, not a single reaction today. Not a slight blush, not a slap, not... Are you still sick? Must I perform another examination? Examination? Yes, by looking closely at your face into your eyes. How are you, Dr. Rumpel? Rumpel stares at me with surprise. I'm not sure where the question game came from, just that it was hovering in my mind. What? Princess, you wound me. I've not seen you do anything different from a nice. But my prescriptions, even the people at the shops could tell us what medicines to buy. Fine, I'll show you. Rumpel's expression slips into something shockingly solemn. He looks at me gravely and extends a hand. If you'd be so kind as to come up to my room. Does going up to your room have anything to do with work? Delora appears before me again, this time without the snide smile. She raises an eyebrow. I don't think either of your shifts are over. She looks at me first. Also, I meant for the lullaby to inspire you, not scare you, princess. For a few moments, she looks concerned, which startles me. The lullaby is certainly associated with a terrible memory, but the weight of that memory is dissipated over time as has my anger at Delora. It's still there, but holding on to that anger does me no good. I sigh and shake my head. You have a terrible voice. There's the princess we all know and love. She crosses her arms. Anyway, you don't want me to sing you into action again, do you? Come to my room later then, princess. I'll show you proof. Proof? That I am a capable doctor. Rumpel walks off, leaving me with Delora, who looks at me skeptically for a few moments. Something on your mind, princess? There were so many conversations I heard earlier, so many questions that I have. While I don't want to speak to Delora, I might as well ask her about something she might know. I overheard rumors about the palace. Did you know? We still haven't confirmed those rumors yet. Look, princess, I know it's not in your nature to trust people, but trust Parfait and me. Parfait and me, at least. We'll let you know if something's up. I'm ushered back to work, where I spend the next 2 hours searching for more information. Unfortunately, everything I hear is just speculation. Good work today, Rhea. Has Rumpel already left? I think he went up to his room earlier. Thank you. And Nice looks at me curious. What? You and Rumpel have grown a lot closer, haven't you? Well, we are partners. But in the beginning, you didn't even want him as a partner. And now the two of you are friends? Friends? If Rumpel considers me a friend, that should make me happy, but for some reason it makes me feel empty inside. Why? What else could we be besides friends? My cheeks feel warm as I try to think beyond the idea of just being friends with Rumpel. I'm happy that the two of you get along. And I need to go. I told him I would meet him for something tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry for holding you up. And Nice scrambles off, leaving me by myself. I stand there for a few moments in an attempt to still my thoughts, and then I begin to make my way to Rumpel's room. Rumpel? The door swings open, and there stands Rumpel. With a dramatic bow, he ushers me inside, before closing the door behind him. I wasn't entirely certain you'd show up, princess. Normally when you go places with me, it's out of necessity. I only came to see this proof you insisted upon earlier. Proof that you are more than what you seem. He places a hand on my back and guides me over to a chair. He requests that I sit, and I do. Here it is, my proof. You tried to read it while you were sick, too. Alright, the journal. Your journal? I've seen him write in this before, but I thought it was for his memories, not for doctor things. He barely even works on patients now. Rumpel's persistence stokes my curiosity, and soon I find myself flipping through the pages of the book. This was the journal you had when the Martian found you on the streets. You said it was empty then. It was. I've been filling things in from my memory ever since I remembered my job. The book is filled with diagrams of the body, both inside and out. I have no idea what most of the words mean. What are all of the smaller words here? Oh, parts of the pancreas. Not very fun to talk about. There's the papilla and the pancreatic duct. Why is it necessary to use such big words for such simple things? For clarification. Sometimes when you diagnose a problem, it isn't as simple as telling a person that their heart's weak. I continue flipping through it, with Rumpel sometimes explaining things that are on the page, though I don't ask for the descriptions. Scattered throughout the journal are journal entries about his life. When I get to the last entry, I spot my name and begin to read, but before I can even get to the next word after my name, Rumpel has taken the journal from my hands. Sorry, my sweet, but a man's words are sometimes all he has. Insult them, and you break him from the inside out. He thinks I'm going to insult his writing? But what did you think? Aren't you impressed with my sophistication, my breadth of knowledge, my intricacy? You drew some pictures and wrote fancy words by them. I find that a lot more amusing than I should. Princess. I can't help the little laugh that escapes my lips. Immediately after I hear it, I feel myself flushing as Rumpel grins at me triumphantly. Your laughs are sweeter than honey, Princess. And because your voice is back and you're no longer sick, I can hear it in all of its fullness. He takes a step closer to me and reaches out to touch my cheek. I flinch in surprise, but do not draw away. The rapid beating of my heart is not altogether uncomfortable, even if it does confuse me. He pulls his hand away from my cheek, then flicks my forehead. Well then, what was that for? I wanted to see the way your eyes glimmered. You looked oddly vacant there for a few moments. I opened my mouth to speak again, but Rumpel surprises me by setting his finger on my lips. He inches closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my cheeks. But even when you don't speak, your eyes speak for you. You have beautiful eyes, you know. I mean, that's also what I would probably do. I would probably look away because I'm a stubborn little tsundere. There he goes again with his compliments. I should be used to them by now, but lately whenever he compliments me, I can't stop myself from feeling flattered. When I look into his eyes, I can almost see my reflection in them. Without realizing, I look away from him, feeling my breath stop short before I can breathe out. Are you sick, Princess? You look a little flushed. Princess? He removes his finger. He does not, however, step back. I'm still aware of his lips, so close to mine, and his eyes, which are still looking right at me. Yay, that was the right one. This feels different than your usual resistance. Could it be that you're embarrassed? He clears his throat, then starts speaking again. In any case, it's so nice to have you back, Princess. I missed you while you were sleeping day in and day out. He missed me? But you have friends all over the margin. Yes, but none of them are you. You're special. My heart plunges like a rock. I can feel it everywhere in my body, reverberating from a place that doesn't feel like my chest. He lowers his face so that the two of us are seeing eye to eye. I forget to breathe as his hand goes to my shoulder. Hands go to my shoulders. Princess? Yes? I inhale sharply as I get a better look at Rumpel's face. Up until now, I've not stopped to look too closely at his features, but now I can't stop my eyes from taking them in. Whenever you're sick again, I'll be there to help you, because I'm a doctor, even if you might not believe it. All you'll ever really need is a little vitamin me. Rumpel, why? Rumpel! Rumpel, why? In one precious moment, every single bit of energy that had been between us vanishes. I stare blankly at Rumpel as he smiles at me. Rumpel! No? I thought that one was actually good, too. Rumpel pulls his hands away, defeated. I suddenly feel strangely upset. What was I expecting from him? What else could he have said? Suddenly, I'm eager to look away from him. I look anywhere but at him, and eventually my eyes fall on a piece of paper. I recognize the name printed on the top, along with Rumpel's signature and the response lying next to it. Rumpel moves to stand in front of the desk once more. You're still writing to Bria? I sent her a letter asking for my old journals. I'm convinced that's where the last of my memories are, but... She refuses to give them to me. I glance at Bria's letter, my eyes scouring the words, and make a mental note of the address on the envelope. But don't worry, Princess. I'll figure it out. But for now, he reaches for me, but I duck out of the way of his hand. I have to do this now while the address is still fresh in my head. I just remember there's something I need to do. But Princess, I'll see you tomorrow. I pause at the doorway to glance at Rumpel. See you tomorrow, Princess. Sweet dreams. Good night, Rumpel. We're gonna go get his books. Done. I seal the envelope over the letter I had been writing since I woke up, and now to have it delivered. After I have the letter sent off with the messenger, I turn to my work for the day. It starts first with Mr. Broom, then with the serving. I look for Rumpel, knowing that it is now his time off, and am surprised when I see him sitting not with other women, but with Karma. The two of them are laughing together? I guess that advice isn't too terrible. I give the best advice, darling. I am a man of the heart. Perhaps not as much as I am, but I can give you credit when it's due. What are you two talking about? Princess! Well, hello there, Princess. Karma's mischievous smile confuses me. Even Rumpel looks surprisingly shaken. He's shook. You didn't answer my question. We're talking about matters related to the heart. Of course you are. I took it upon myself to impart valuable advice to Rumpel. You're giving Rumpel advice? Even though you two are always at each other's throats? Even the bitterest enemies can become beloved friends. All it takes is a shared interest. I have no idea what you're talking about. But before I can say anything else, I'm swept up by Delora, who calls me back to work. The day goes on, and soon it's almost my break. I go to the front to see if the messenger has returned yet. Oh, Princess, there's a letter here for you. I did not expect a response. I open it up and stare down at the letter for a long time. Writing love letters to a secret lover, Princess? Rumpel appears behind me, his smile unusually small. He looks almost hesitant to be standing there. It's not important. I stuff the letter into my pocket and continue working. For the rest of the day, I ignore Rumpel. I don't want him asking about this letter, just in case things don't go according to plan. He's obviously disheartened by my ignoring him, and his sadness only persists in making me feel guilty. This is not something he can know about, otherwise he'll try to stop me. Almost everyone's gone to their rooms, including a very saddened Rumpel. The only people remaining are Anais and myself. Earlier, Waltz came in insisting that he speak to Delora and Parfait, and so the three of them are all off talking in the other room. Curiosity gets the better of me, and soon I find myself sweeping closer to the door. I edge it open quietly with my foot so that I can see what's happening inside. I didn't think he was still alive. This is very troubling. He must have used a glamour. But the fact that I didn't realize it was him, Is that the princess I spot peeping through the door? God damn it! I try to hide, but all of the eyes in the room catch me before I can do so. Do you eavesdrop on people often, Rhea? I had no real reason to eavesdrop on them besides my own curiosity. It's no harm done, Delora. Rhea, are you almost done with your chores? Ever since that conversation with Parfait and Delora, I've noticed that the words Parfait and I speak to each other are strained. Delora, however, is unchanged. I expect sarcasm from her now, but she does not deliver. She simply stands still and looks at me somberly. I am, and what are you all talking about? Hiding more things from me? Well, we're talking about the rumors that have been going around about the palace. What have you heard? I have a right to know what's happening at the palace. We would tell you if we knew for certain, Princess. Walt sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. I know the timing doesn't seem right, but I really should show myself out. I have a show early morning tomorrow. He glances around at all of us. I'm going to excuse myself for the night. Good night, everyone. As he passes by me, he smiles. And to you too, Princess. Once again, everyone's being secretive. Why the sour face, Princess? Are you worried about what happens to the people in the palace you cared nothing for? Delora! Okay, that was uncalled for. But really, though, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Since you're here now, I may as well say it. I knew you for 1 year before I cursed you. I saw what your mother had done to you, and I knew I needed to undo the damage before your birthday. Why is she talking about this now? I called you cruel and wicked when really I knew that the way you were was caused by the way your mother brought you up. And when we talked about Hilda the other day, I was unfair in what I said to you. We all have to face reality, but... Delora pauses, looking surprisingly solemn. She sighs, then continues. I always knew you had some good in you. I saw it in you when you spoke to your dolls. You have a good heart. Many people enjoy flattery, Princess, and a lot of people are receptive to flirting. But nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. Delora just complimented me? Thank you? Or awkward silence. Continue. I don't know. I'm not good with decisions. That one? Did Delora just compliment me? I feel surprisingly light. Rumpel was right. A genuine compliment does make me feel good, but does she truly mean it? Still no thank you, huh? Well, we'll have to work on that. Delora. What? You always ruin the mood, don't you? Is it so wrong to get my hopes up when all I want is for the princess to thank me once? Oh, I'm sorry. You did curse her. Not many fairy tale curse victims thank the casters. Touché. Oh, what's this? My lovely little princess is in here with you two. Oh, Rumpel, you're early tonight. Surprised to see me, beautiful? Rumpel's earlier anxiety is gone. He looks at me with unbridled enthusiasm. If you're here to talk to Parfait about medicine, then I'm out. Freya, you should leave too. Well then, sleep well, beautiful maidens. Okay, bye. Yes. I quickly finished my chores and returned to my room where I lay on my bed contemplating tomorrow. I can't believe Bria wrote back to me. Tomorrow I'll meet with her and hopefully she'll agree to give me his journals. I hope this works, for Rumpel's sake. Woo! We finished chapter 7. That means we're saving right here. And we're going to end this video here because we have been recording for quite a while now. And I want to keep to doing one chapter per video. Quite a lot's happened this time. There's always at least one big event that happens in each chapter, so that's awesome. I'm really glad that we're getting closer to Rumpel. I really wish that I had picked to say thank you to Delora. But, you know, that's the choice I made, so gotta live with that. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope that you're enjoying this series, and I'm honestly really glad to be back into it again. And I hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are. Now, see y'all next time. Bye!